Hey guys, welcome back to my playthrough. This is Nico, going to be playing again Satisfactory, just going to be continuing on from where we led off. But yeah, pretty much a lot's happened since the first few episodes. Kind of actually had to go back through my recordings for a second and kind of look at where we're up to because yeah, there's been quite a few episodes. The first episode was kind of recorded, stopped the play, any sort of playtime after that first episode, and then since then I have been playing the first, I think the next 3 episodes were all in one sitting, so they were already pre-recorded together. So now I kind of had to actually go back to see where we were up to in terms of the episode. So this one should be episode 5 if I'm not mistaken. Biggest thing, guys, if you do, if you're currently still watching too, and if you're enjoying the series, definitely feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe already to the channel, just because simply that way you can be notified when uploads will be, and you can kind of just keep in touch, etc. But yeah, pretty much the playthrough itself, it's been a lot of fun. We've constructed quite a few bits of machinery around here, as you can see. We've definitely got a few assemblies now, 2, one for rotors, one for reinforced plates. We're going to be trying to focus on potentially setting up a more efficient factory, especially with the reinforced plates, as we're going to need a lot over the next few, tiers of progression, I guess. But yeah, if you are liking the series, or if you like this video, or even dislike, definitely leave any sort of interaction, provide any sort of feedback, etc. As that definitely helps me out, supports, and also just provides any sort of feedback for things I could do better, etc. So yeah, of course, guys, hope you enjoy the video. So where we kind of left off is we were getting pretty close to getting coal power unlocked for the milestone, as you can see at the top right there. So at this point of current time, I actually did a little bit of research with the alien organisms. There was a few things from the Spitter, I believe, the Stinger, and the Spitters as well, I believe. So we did these 2 researches. Didn't provide anything really, just the fact that we can then consume the resource that they drop when you kill them, and then turn that into alien protein. So now we got all sources of ways to turn pretty much the remains they drop into the protein. We did in fact get this, which was just going to cost the wires and the protein. As you can see, it's unlocked now. So we got an extra 6 inventory slots, which is awesome. So definitely helps out. These 2 we still haven't got. This one's going to be a long way away. This one, however, is getting a little closer. We just need the rotors and the fruit, but we're not going to worry about it for now. I've got enough reinforced iron plates here. We're actually going to go up and unlock this current upgrade. And I'll let the dialogue play out.
Coal is an improved alternative power source to biomass and can be fully automated if provided water with the new pipeline buildings and power throughout the initial setup. Coal has been added to the resource scanner. Note: ensure the close proximity of water to the coal production line. Note: pumps will aid in vertical transport of fluids through pipes. Note: throughput and volume indicators are added to each pipe section automatically.
Alrighty, so from this tier that we've just unlocked, or milestone, you can see we're going to get coal. We can extract water with this machine here, as you can see. We are going to unlock the coal generator, which we place water through, and coal as another input. As you can see on the picture here, there is a square and a circle. That's the input to produce power. So it's going to be good. We're going to be able to set up power, definitely a much more stable power. That way we don't have to constantly be, breaking trees down, turning this all into, fuel. So it's going to be a much smoother process. Definitely going to be a big project, but from experience, I have found a much more efficient way to do it than what I've done in the past, so it shouldn't be too bad. But before we do it, what we're going to see is what we're going to need. So we're going to need copper sheets. We've got enough of. We've got rotors. Again, copper sheets. We might want to maybe get a few extra copper sheets. Fluid buffer we probably won't need, so we won't need to worry about that. Looking into power, we're going to definitely need a coal generator. So you can see we're probably going to want to pick up some more reinforced plates and rotors. And maybe cables as well, just to set this up. So, yep, reinforced plates, rotors, and copper sheets. We'll pick a few extra ones up, as definitely will help us out a lot. And from my experience with the situation of generating power, I've learnt the best way to do that is to build your coal generators close to water rather than building it closer to your factory, simply so that way you don't have to constantly be moving resources further than they need to go. So we got cables. We didn't even pick up the copper sheets too. So we'll definitely pick these up. Never know how many we're going to need. Just in case we need wires, we'll get a few extra wires. What we'll do is we'll check our concrete, etc. So we've got plenty of concrete. We'll get a few extra rods and plates. Definitely get these rotors here. So we'll bring some extra rods, plates, just in case, because we probably will need these for the belts at least, with transporting the coal. Coming over here, we don't need the smart plating, of course, and these reinforced plates. Alrighty, so the biggest thing what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find where a coal node is. Which there will probably be one, yeah, down where the water is. And there is 2 over there, or 3, so we can use those at whatever point we need more power. So we can just jump down here like so, as a little shortcut. If you didn't see the last episode or the episodes before, I do suggest watching them, as they are very interesting. Didn't even mean to drop down here, but it kind of happened on its own. Hoping I don't die. No. And all the fog's kind of starting to roll in. So yeah, we'll see where the coal is. So I can see there's a node over there by the looks of the way the ping or the ping is with the node. Making sure we're getting all these guys. Didn't even realize there's another one down here. And there is another one. So the thing we might need to do is we might need to find a food source. Otherwise we might actually die. So yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic day, of course. And the episodes themselves that I've been recording is I'm trying to get them out to be 2 days apart. Had a few issues with uploading the episode 2, 3, and 4. Episode 2 should be currently out as I am recording this one. And I will sort out episode 3 for you guys to be... I think it's going to be released 2 days after episode 2, which should be tomorrow. And I apologize too, guys, because I am a little bit sick as well. So you just have to bear with me. You little bad guys. So the upgraded bash that we've now got is definitely huge bonus and it's very helpful for us right now. Oh. We probably didn't want to deal with this guy so quickly, as he will hurt a lot, as you can see. Might even end up killing us. Yep, just like that. So when you die, you should actually keep your items, but we just got to run back over to our body and get the items that we died. So that's going to be our first death. Something to take note of is we need food. So we'll definitely be able to scavenge a few sources of food that we can consume up in this area that we'll be in. Even though that's coal, it's not going to be the node itself that we need to start farming coal. Despite we need a miner Mark 1, we can actually craft a portable miner still, so I'm not too worried about getting that started and set up. So we're going to need to go over this way, but to find a food source, which we won't be able to go down in waters. Because I believe we'll need some sort of gas mask or something like that that we eventually unlock. Come here, little fella. I will probably get my water bottle after I kill this bloke. You're running away. I don't think he'll provide me with anything. No. I think what we'll do is we'll use the train. No, never mind, he's dead. Pick up his remains. So, decent amount of water here. And we will search again for the coal. Surprise, coal is apparently 200 meters this way. We must have walked past it. Right there. So, what I think we might do is, instead of using this coal node for now, we might... You can see there's a few little baddies there. You can see there's probably some over there. So we might set up plant about here, on the ground over here. And we will feed the coal into the machines over here. Pretty easy way to kill them. Oh! That is a big spider. This guy's gonna hurt. I'm surprised he hasn't hit me yet. Woo! Those guys are scary. Is there any more I can see? No. So our biggest thing is we really need to find these berry bushes that are located in this biome. As that will help us get our food up. So looking at our map here, we are a little bit away from base. So we're going to have to run quite a bit of cabling and potentially coal over there, but that's okay. As it's going to be easier for us to have the power here. That looks like a crash pod actually. So we might go check out this area real quick. It's just one of these guys. Our slug over there, which we might actually get real quick. Then we will probably start setting up power. We'll need to kill this bloke and the flower. So we definitely don't want to have to deal with these guys close up, as they do a lot of damage to us. I don't even know if I'm hitting him, or if he's dead. I think he might be dead. He's definitely dead. So we want to be looking out for the purple slugs. But yeah, this shouldn't be a terrible spot for us to set up our power. So, to get all this going, we probably will need to set up some coal generators like here, like so. What we'll probably do is we will place maybe just like so. I think we might do probably 2 for now. And I'm not too worried about them being in a good spot. As long as they're able to, I don't know, at least be able to access. So there's that. We need a water extractor, or even 2. So we'll have to probably make 2. That way we don't have to split off the water. Going into logistics, we'll then pipe the material just like so. We'll do the exact same thing over here. So that's the piping done. However, we need to access, we need to get power to these machines, which is going to be the big thing. So we'll have to set up probably some biomass burners for these. So what we will do next is we will We'll set up a workshop. Just so we can craft ourselves a portable miner. And once that's crafted, we probably won't need it anymore. We will then run over to the node. Oh. We have some flowers. And raspberries. Or pale berries, whatever you want to call them. So we'll make sure to pick these up, because we're actually going to need these for researching purposes as well. So we'll have to kill these guys real quick. Shouldn't take too long with our newly equipped Xeno Basher. I thought there was another one. Just like so, they're all dead. So now we'll place down the Miner Mark 1. And running this all the way over here. Which I'm really glad that we did actually get all these belts, because we're definitely going to need belts. What's this little guy want? Alright, so we'll raise this and we will place a splitter like so. We will split this coal into here. So we got coal, coal, water, water, and then we have enough to, again, split this off into another generator if we need. But for now, we'll have two. And then all we really need now is a biomass burner. And we're going to have to hook these up. And then we bring this pole all the way over here, just for our Miner Mark 1. And we hook this one up as well. So despite this is going to be making power for us down here, all we would need to do then is we would just need to connect these wires at some point up to the top of our main power grid, and that will increase our overall power production, etc. So for now, we will place these in here. So let's see how much power we're going to need. So I believe we're probably going to need another one, which is okay. And again, we will place any sort of fuel source into here for now. We will have to set this up to another pole. Disconnect this one, connect this one, and ever one we need to reconnect, which by the looks of it is this biomass burner. And then hopefully we've got enough power. Yep. So we're consuming 45 at a capacity of 60. Which should not go up or down, as this should be all what we need. And then the biggest thing is going to be making sure that we've got water coming through our pipes, which you can hear it is, and you can definitely see it. So a good indication with your water is knowing if it's coming through is you can see this area here as it expands. And then when you click it, you can see that it's constantly going up, as that's the current amount in the pipe, and the flow rate, you want that as high as possible as well, as expected right here. So one of our power grids is shut down, so this is probably going to be either up top, which by the looks of it's down here, but it's because we're going to have no fuel. which I thought that could have been the case. So once we kind of get coal reaching over here, we'll be good. But for the meantime, while we don't have coal, that's going to be the biggest problem. So this coal will come at a slow pace over there. But for the meantime, we're going to need to basically collect a fuel source to generate enough, pretty much enough coal to be able to reach there at a constant, steady rate. Which can be very difficult when you're in this biome, as you can clearly see that there is not too much in terms of gathering. However, if we had some fuel for our chainsaw, this probably would be a little bit easier to deal with. And there is the nuts we were looking for originally. So we won't go up there. There's going to be a few hostiles up there. We don't really need to encounter just yet. So we're just trying to collect anything we possibly can right now. And I actually believe we need about 20 of these nuts to be able to research the next item. And caves as well is a good thing to find, because caves will provide resources for one. And sometimes they'll actually provide you a slug. So it's just good to note if you do come across any sort of cave. So as you can see, depending on the difficulty to get to the slug, can actually determine what type of slug you'll get in terms of quality. So you can see we're getting a purple one, which means we can craft 5 shards, which is honestly really good. There is a few little stingers in here, but nothing that we can't handle. And we're going to pick up these mushrooms because they actually end up being something that you don't find as common. It just depends on the area that you're actually located in, but in the desert you'll definitely find them a lot more frequent. But a lot of the time you'll be needing them for something and you won't have any on you. So it's definitely good to pick up anytime you come across them. We'll run back up. We will pretty much we'll put in the fuel that we've got in our machines, and we'll hope that it's more than enough. Otherwise, we'll just have to connect it up to our main power grid, and hope that we've got enough, which we actually might have enough anyway. Which we will need anyways to be connected. So either way, it's a win-win. I was hoping to locate another crash site out here as well. I'm kind of just looking to see if we end up finding another one, because there is many out there. Thought that rock looked a little bit dark then. I thought it could have been potentially some sort of resource or something. We got a few leaves over here we'll pick up too, which might even provide enough. We'll even check our machines. We'll see how much fuel is currently in them, and it might even be enough to power it a little bit as well. So it's got 19. So we will place the leaves in here. So this will, no matter what, this should be enough fuel for it to burn without it turning off. As you can see at the rate it's burning, you know, one coal every, I don't know, a few seconds. But you can also see that for every 4 seconds, it's going to be providing 75. So you can imagine the amount of coal generators you can produce or create, and how much fuel you'll be able to produce at a much better rate. So yeah, like 2 is on its own, it's already generating 150 megawatts, which is a lot more than the biomass burners, because I think I got about 7 biomass burners up there at the top, and it's probably getting about 140-ish, I think. So yeah, the coal generators are extremely good. You can see as well the water itself, we're not lacking in the water department, which is good. We're not losing, or the water's not depreciating at a slow rate, so we're constantly at max water, so we don't need to worry about our water. So I just need to make sure that this doesn't trip between now and the coal getting over, because as long as this coal is constantly getting to our machine, we don't need to worry about water. As long as this coal's getting to our machine, the machine should never trip. The biggest thing is going to be if we're not producing enough power for what we're consuming. And that's where the issue comes in, because if, as you can see, if you don't get the coal to the machine, then you've obviously got to come up with some other alternative to get power to generate, to be able to even produce coal in the first place. Which can be very easy, by the way. It can just be something as simple as getting a biomass burner down there, hooking it up to the Miner Mark 1. As long as you've got power into that, there should be coal that is coming down to the machines. Which is something we probably could have done. But for now, what we'll do is we'll make sure that there is enough coal that's going to our machines. We'll probably create a few more coal generators while we're down here. Maybe even one more for the meantime. Which I might actually do right now while we wait. All we got to do is place one like here. Get a splitter into the machine. Hook this up like so. And then all we got to do then is build another water extractor, which is pretty easy because as we intended to build. We intended to build next to the water because the water's a little more difficult to actually maneuver. Then we go to logistics and we just gotta pipe it. Did I pick the wrong one? Oh, shouldn't have. Put the wrong way. I think I put that around the wrong way. Oh, there we go. And we will place it even higher as well. And just like that, guys, we should have more than enough power to power our current setup at home. So I just need to hook up as well. And we'll make sure that the water is extracting, which it definitely sounds like it's about to be. Yep, incredible. That's working fine. It's going to be moving the water. Yep. So you can see the pipe over here is taking a little bit. Could be simply because of the hill that's right here, but it should be able to pump enough regardless through our machine. As long as this isn't going into the negative, we should be providing enough water into our machine. Yep, so it's slowly generating up. So now we've got a capacity of 285 megawatts, which is more than enough. All we're going to do now is run this current wire up to our current factory. And then we don't have to worry about any sort of biomass generators that we currently have set up at home. Which is good. Something that we won't have to worry about now. Oh yeah, we've got to try to set it up a little bit better. Might be a power slug even up there too. Yep, definitely sounds like there will be. I think what we're going to be going for next is the steel production. We could probably sort out the reinforced plates, but I kind of want to get steel production sorted out. So that way it's at least started. Because steel production is going to require iron ore, regardless. So, and I need iron nodes to produce the iron for the machines. With the newly required or acquired foundries that we're about to unlock. But yeah, definitely biggest thing, guys, is throughout the game, the progression. I reckon, from my experience with the game so far, I found that as soon as you unlock the coal generator, the game becomes a whole lot better because you don't have to constantly supply the upkeep towards these biomass burners. So it definitely becomes a lot better in my opinion. And we will place it like so. So now when we look at this, we can see we have a ton of capacity compared to what we're consuming. So we won't have to worry about power for quite a bit, which is actually awesome. Probably the next thing, as I said, we're going to do is we're going to have a look at what we need now to get basic steel production, which I believe is what the milestone is called. Yep. So we can place the items in here like so. Going to need a lot more rotors and a heap of frames, which for frames we're going to need a lot more reinforced plates. So we'll go get the reinforced plates and we'll see how much we're working with, which is a lot more than I thought, which is good. So what we did is we increased the clock speed of this machine by up to 250%, 3 times more than what it was at. So now it's producing 12 per minute, which I believe it was either 3 or 4 before. Looking in here, we've got 50 rotors, so we're going to need a lot more of these. We'll definitely bring some rods with us. Bring just some iron plates as well. And we're going to need to get some wire. So the biggest thing is if we can upgrade our belt speed, things are going to flow through a lot quicker, but we're going to need a lot more reinforced plates before we can even really do that. So what I'll do is I will craft the modular frames that I need. I will also wait for the rotors that need to be crafted before we can progress, and I will pretty much cut out the footage between now and then. So I will see you guys in just one moment. And we are back. Welcome back, guys. I should have cut from when we were first left off to about now. A little trick too, guys, if you actually do need to craft anything and it's a mass amount of production that you're doing for crafting, what you can actually do is, depending on your craft button, so for me, my keybind is spacebar. As you can see in the bottom there, it's either space or it's left button click. So what I tend to do is, because I can do it as my spacebar, I leave something that's kind of got enough weight that will hold my keybind down, and you can kind of walk away and come back. That way you don't have to constantly be holding the button down to craft it. But yeah, just something to take note of. What we will do is we will get this next trade.
Milestone reached. Steel production unlocked. Foundry grants access to new, simple steel parts. An additional project park can now be constructed. Progress to the next phase is now possible.
So as much as we would like to get this one unlocked because of the Miner Mark II and because of these beams here, probably what we would go for, I actually really want to test out this because I think this would be an awesome thing you could do a lot with. But we kind of want to unlock this here because it's going to provide us with the Mark III belts, which I would much rather focus on getting these belts, which is the steel beams, more than focusing on reinforced plates if we're only going to upgrade these very shortly, because we can now craft these beams here, so we'll be able to progress and unlock this. All we would need obviously is steel pipes, so we can kind of focus on these here. Before we do that, what we might do is we might look at foundations. Look at what we're going to need. So we're going to need a lot of concrete and a lot of iron plates. The reason for this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to probably start laying out some sort of area, I guess you could say, for how we want to start setting up a bit of a factory, or make it look a little more, I guess, presentable. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. So we will bring a little more cables with us. So we will definitely bring a lot more wire, just in case. And we're going to need quite a bit of copper. Got a little bit of a full inventory now, but that's all right. So before we go down, we want to see what else we're going to need to craft these machines. So for a foundry, we're going to need a few more frames, rotors as well. We're probably going to want to at least get probably about 2 or 3 foundries. Just something to take note of. We're going to need the Miner Mark 1. Again, we're going to need a coal line set up. So we won't need to worry about the water extractor or the coal plant. But I think that's kind of about it, other than constructors, which we have enough reinforced iron plates. Maybe potentially some assemblers. So we're going to need a lot of rotors. That's going to be the biggest thing, I think. So what we'll do is we'll grab these plates. We will grab these rotors that have crafted. We'll grab the extra screws as well that have been made. And we will grab, how many rods do we have? We've got a few rods. We should be able to make a few more rotors. Looking up here, we can see we can make steel beams, steel pipes. I did say we would need frames. So before we press any more, because I could see that went down, we need frames for the foundry. So we need at least 19 more. Maybe even 29. We might try and aim for 30 in total. So we at least have 30 sitting there in case we want to place 3 foundries. Which I wouldn't be surprised, because it ends up being a very important resource in due time. So again, guys, what I'll do is I will craft these up. I will then cut the gameplay from the time of when I finish crafting them to the time of where I want to start probably setting up my location once I've figured it out for you guys. And we will talk back then. Alrighty guys, so I've figured out where I'm going to build. So what we've got is another coal node that we can mine off. Another thing is going to be, we've also located another iron node nearby, which we're going to need. It's just above this hill right here, somewhere. And the area we're going to use this for is just going to be up here. So I was considering actually making some sort of layout, but the ground is actually quite flat right here on its own. So we might just use what's around us right here as our area that we're going to make where our foundries are going to be located. We're going to get rid of these flowers, just so they're not a problem at some point. Is that a power slug? I believe it is. And it's a blue one. I would have laughed if that was a purple one the whole time. So yeah, we'll probably build around this area. So what we're going to need to set up is going to be our foundries. So foundries are going to be first. So we're going to place one here, one here. We're going to space them out a little bit. Area. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to just set everything up with electricity as we make it. So it's go. We can see we can set these to steel ingots. Which, looking at the recipe to make a steel ingot, we just need 3 iron ore, 3 coal. Pretty simple. Setting up this machine over here first, I reckon we'll do, is we're going to need a equipment workshop just to make ourselves a portable miner. And then all we got to do is make the miner mark 1 like so. We will set a pole up here. We'll then connect here and then pole. And just like so, we'll be able to produce coal once we have power coming in. So we'll bring this line around here like so. Coming into this machine, we're then going to split this line off. Like so. And the good thing about this is once we unlock the miner mark II, it means we're going to produce coal at a much quicker rate. Therefore, we're going to have constant upkeep regardless of the machines that we're splitting into. So now we just need to sort out an iron node. And the good thing about the foundry too is you don't need to smelt the iron before you go into the foundries. You just need the ore. So yeah, it makes things a little bit easier. We can see it's up there. These 2 flowers. Could not believe before that one of these guys jump scared me a little bit. It's pretty funny. And using a gun, of course, at range, we'll get rid of them quite easily. Anything else nearby? By the looks of it, no. All we got to do now is get rid of the node. And we were supposed to build another one, but that's okay, because we can just do it up here. So we'll have to put another workshop here now, just to make another portable miner. And just like so, all we got to do now is portable miner. Hook this up to power. Bit too far away to be able to get it. And then all we got to do is bring the iron ore over like so. So we could, as I said before, we could actually focus on getting more reinforced plates, which we're going to need because we need them to craft machines regardless. But the biggest thing is just going to be if we focus on that, the biggest thing we're focusing on that for was more to get the better belts, but we may as well go for these belts as they are quicker. So we may as well focus on these. They're a little bit easier to produce as well, as you can see. So now we've got iron and we're missing one. Yep. So now we got iron coming into all 3 machines, same with coal. In which all we need to do now is hook this up to power. we will do. But before I do that, I'm going to place another up here, which we're definitely going to need. Probably don't need this pole. That pole over here. And the wire is too long. So we'll just hook it up to this. And then this pole over here, we just need to hook it up to this power. And just like so, we'll have coal coming in out of this machine and iron coming out of this machine into 3 foundries over here. As you can see, our consumption rate at the moment is nowhere near our capacity. Awesome. You can see the coal is now coming out. Again, you can see it's going up a little bit. So it does spike up and down. As long as your capacity isn't lower than even your spikes, then you'll be all good. So for the meantime, this will be coming down. And now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to figure out whether we need a constructor or an assembler. Because we're going to need one or the other. I can't remember which one. So we need constructors. So we need constructors for the steel beams. Which we will definitely focus on a lot. What we'll do is we will place a constructor here. And a constructor here. And another constructor here. And another one there. Place 2 more like here. Now, what we're going to do, run this into this machine. We're going to split it off into this one. We're then going to select steel pipes for this machine here. And just for now, we're going to place a container right here, like so. We will move this up much higher to our base, even though it's going to have to obviously travel a bit further to be able to get there. But for the meantime, this is just going to be our temporary. For this one here, we're going to select steel beams. Same with the other one over there. And selecting steel beams for these, as we're going to need a lot of steel beams. And then same as before, going to place containers here. So we should have 4 steel beams right here, making sure we've linked the chains. That should be all of them set up. So now we just need to set all these up with a job, of course, on it. Another little thing to note too, if you didn't notice, is once there is power that's coming to the machine, that area up to kind of handy. And we just got an extra hole there just in case. So we've got all these machines powered. We got these ones powered as well. And good. So you can see now that, you know, the resources is taking its time to get here. For one. For two, it's obviously splitting off into thirds. So again, it's at a reduced rate. But once you get these belts upgraded, especially to Mark 3, once we get this miner Mark 1 upgraded to Mark 2, we're definitely going to produce these at a much quicker rate. So that's probably going to be our primary focus immediately. So we're just going to come have a quick look over here to make sure that it's operating exactly how we want it to. So we can see that steel beams are coming out of all 3 of the machines. And then it's going to require 4 steel ingots to make 1 steel. And we're just going to have a quick look at our resources. So we're waiting on iron ore at the moment. If these machines constantly overclock in resources, as in bottleneck of resources, sorry, we're going to probably place some power shards in here immediately. As this is going to be our biggest focus, probably for quite some time. Making sure we're getting steel beams here. So now there should be steel beams coming. Container. Yep, steel pipes, steel beams in here. So, as I said, once we get these upgraded, it's going to be at a lot quicker rate. But for the meantime, it's going to be quite slow. But yeah, it's just good to note. So, pretty much with this episode, guys, we have officially set up pretty much what we need to be set up. So, we've got all of our coal power generators here. We've got some water extractors to produce water, of course, for our coal plants. We've got some coal that's coming out of here into our generators. We've got coal and iron up here coming into our foundries over here. That are 3. That are then being split off into 2 constructors each. Despite right now it might not seem or feel efficient. However, this is definitely going to be something that will be very beneficial for us later on. So that's why we've set it up immediately. You can see as well we've got a few steel beam storages, 2 in fact, and we've got another one over here for our steel pipes, which we need regardless for progression in the tier, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to the main base. Again, I might just cut it out here, unless there is a cave down here, and if there is we might explore it before I do that. No, there is no cave. So what we might do is I might cut it between here and up to the base, and we'll do some research, and I will end the episode there. So we still have 475 power that's being produced. So I want to see how much power we'll be getting from these machines. But we've got enough power when. So we got 30, 60, 90, 120, 210. And we are producing at most 218. So we probably, or even 237. So we're going to have to 250. We're going to have to at least build another power generator by the looks of things. Otherwise our power will cut out. But we'll have a quick look at how much fuel we got in our machines. Which by the looks of it, still a lot less than me. Like so. We will split this off. And we'll just have a quick look to see what we can research. If, of course, there is anything at all. Research this. We will be able to research this thing next. Well, we need another 24 frames. We need 50 of those pipes, which we'll definitely be able to get. Having a look down here, we'll be able to get this hand equipment slot, which will be good. Be able to keep our object scanner there. Question is, how do we unlock this one? And we'll unlock this area pretty much on its own. So what we'll do is we'll go over here. We will place in our all of our remains that we've received, our fruit as well for now. We'll place this item in here as we won't need it. That. And then we will also craft some power shards. We now have 8, which is actually crazy. And then, looking into our tiers, as I said before, we'll go for probably this one. Shouldn't be too far off to get. So we need 100 pipes, which is probably being crafted already. And we need 200 beams. We'll also want to get this done immediately after, as this is going to provide us with the Mark II. Which is something that we really want to focus towards getting. Interesting. I'm very curious to see what this ends up doing. And we'll set up hypertubes between here and our coal plant to pretty much get around a bit quicker. So we'll focus on getting logistics Mark III, and then we'll get steel production, and that will be pretty much where we'll go. So I'll leave the video here, guys, as this is just over an hour now. I'll obviously get some time reduced from it, but it's probably going to be looking at like a 50-55 minute video again. So we'll keep the consistency around roughly around there. But other than that, guys, thank you so much, of course, for watching. I'm also dealing with my incredibly sore throat at the moment, which my voice sounds a little bit off. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I will probably record the next video as well after this current video. So just bear with my voice again for one more episode. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. As I said before, if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, that would definitely be very, very appreciative, as that will help support me and the channel out a lot. But thank you so much for watching, and of course, guys, I will see you in the next episode.